The concept of a Satanic New World Order has been a topic of discussion among various groups, with some believing it to be a real entity that seeks to control the world's population. One of the ways this supposed entity is thought to exert control is through the use of vaccines. The idea is that vaccines are being used to manipulate and enslave people, rather than to protect them from diseases. However, it is essential to examine the validity of these claims and understand the actual purpose and effects of vaccines. To begin with, vaccines have been widely recognized as one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. They work by introducing a small, harmless piece of a pathogen, such as a virus or bacteria, to the body, which then triggers an immune response. This response helps the body to develop immunity to the disease, reducing the risk of infection and transmission. The development and use of vaccines have been extensively studied and tested, and the overwhelming scientific consensus is that they are safe and effective. However, despite the scientific evidence, some groups have raised concerns about the safety and efficacy of vaccines. They claim that vaccines contain harmful ingredients, such as mercury and aluminum, which can cause a range of health problems, including autism, cancer, and neurological damage. They also argue that vaccines are being used to impose control over the population, with some even claiming that they contain microchips or other tracking devices. One of the primary sources of misinformation about vaccines is the anti-vaccination movement, which has been fueled by false claims and conspiracy theories. For example, the now discredited claim that vaccines cause autism originated from a 1998 study by Andrew Wakefield, which was later retracted due to methodological flaws and ethical concerns. However, the damage had already been done, and the myth has persisted, leading to a decline in vaccination rates and an increase in the spread of preventable diseases. Another factor contributing to the misconception about vaccines is the idea of a Satanic New World Order. This concept is based on the idea that a group of powerful individuals or organizations is secretly working to establish a one-world government, which would control every aspect of people's lives. Some believe that vaccines are being used as a tool to achieve this goal, by making people dependent on the government for their health and well-being. However, there is no credible evidence to support the existence of a Satanic New World Order, or that vaccines are being used as a means of control. In fact, the development and distribution of vaccines are typically carried out by governments, healthcare organizations, and pharmaceutical companies, which are subject to strict regulations and oversight. The primary goal of these organizations is to protect public health, not to impose control over the population. It is also important to note that the benefits of vaccines extend far beyond individual health. Vaccination programs have been instrumental in eradicating diseases such as smallpox and polio, and have significantly reduced the incidence of other diseases, such as measles and whooping cough. By vaccinating a large portion of the population, we can achieve herd immunity, which helps to protect vulnerable individuals, such as the elderly and those with compromised immune systems, who may not be able to receive vaccines themselves. In conclusion, the idea that vaccines are being used to control the population as part of the Satanic New World Order is a baseless conspiracy theory. Vaccines have been extensively tested and proven to be safe and effective, and their benefits extend far beyond individual health to the protection of public health and the prevention of infectious diseases. It is essential to rely on credible sources of information and to be cautious of misinformation and conspiracy theories, which can have serious consequences for public health and well-being. By understanding the facts about vaccines and the importance of vaccination programs, we can work towards a healthier and more informed society.